Okay, hello, how are you, Mr. Patel? Just going to give you some markups here on this project, and I noticed there's a little thing in the background there. I'm going to skip through this right now because that's just for later, but let's see. So that's helpful. Your map is distorted. I'd rather you show the map in the correct proportions. Don't feel like you have to make it a square to fit in here. That seems fine. That's just really a location map. So let's see, the average number of days is 30. So this is actually really performance. This is really more under facts. Why the temperature and why the climate is the way it is actually goes under systems. So I would move this back up into the first part, and I don't know why that's there. I would move this and make that very small. Council. So let's see. So this is clearly cut and paste from the internet, which is fine. You need to source it, and you need to clean it up. Let's see. Used by council became the first purpose-built office building in Australia to achieve a maximum 6 Green Star rating. So that's kind of a cultural one. So all of this is culture, but this other stuff up here is really facts, which would be helpful to know earlier in the project. And yes, this probably would work under manifest meaning. It's showing a certain cultural desire to, or really ethical, sorry. And we do have ethical in here, meaning, ethics, all of those kind of go together. So, the river is near Yarra River. That seems fine. So this is really about the city of Melbourne and the context within which this project sits. So you're trying to get the urban context defined here. So this could be good, except I don't know where is the site. In other words, where is the site on this map? And is the site well served? Is site served by public transit, right? So that's all good. I mean, that's good information, but who cares? I mean, where's the building, and how does it fit in with the transport system? So you can have more than one system. Like, you can have multiple slides here. If you really want to explain the urban context, you might also talk about car circulation. You might talk about plane circulation, pedestrian. You might want to get a number of different circulation patterns listed here. That would be pretty good to know as a systems perspective situation. So here you're showing some of the culture. Reflects Melbourne City has gained a reputation as the cultural sporting capital of Australia. That's great. What does that mean for your project? What does that mean? Is your project reinforcing that culture? Or is it going against that culture? And I don't necessarily see diversity here. I'd like you to think about the pictures you choose a little bit. Is Melbourne the most diverse city in Australia? It sounds like. How did they do that? So what were some of the things that they did? How did that happen? Why did it happen? Why is it the center? Why is it the center? Did somebody make a decision to be the center of culture? Did it happen organically? You have to dig in a little bit more on this project, I think, so you can get more points. So this is good. This is definitely district, so congratulations. That's definitely the building. 10 streets away from Port Phillip Bay, which makes it a prominent victim of sea level rise. Well, first of all, you need a map to show that. But second of all, what is the name of this neighborhood? Is it in a certain district Is it in a certain district of, let me just come back here. Okay, so what happened? Got problems here. Here we go. So is it what's the name of this district? Is this the financial district? Is it the center city? Tell me about where this is in relative to the city of Melbourne. Is it the center of the city? Is it the center city district? And why is that important? I think it might be. Why is that important? You might want to say here. Okay, so here we go. This is a good systems Now, what's interesting about this is stormwater flows larger drains into rivers and creeks. So this is a retarding basements, wetlands. So this is a citywide, this is a city scale strategy for stormwater. Unless you're going to show something specific to the neighborhood that's unique, this would go under city systems, which brings up a good point. So we could do water and systems, we could do people, we could do flora and fauna. We could do all kinds of different topics at the city scale that are systems. This one definitely goes for the city scale. And then why is that important? Why is it important? Is it innovative? Is it sustainable? Sorry, why is it important? You know, don't just put photos in and leave them. You're going to have to do some analysis. And so this goes under performance facts. This is a fact. This has really nothing to do with meaning. Except for the fact that it's a tourism sector. So now you have to talk about tourism and how is this the district or is this the city? Because I don't know if this is really the district. Because if this is the city, this would go at city scale. Remember, your whole grade is based on proper scales and proper perspectives. So you got to really think about where you're putting which pictures. And if you are going to talk about tourism, how important is that in Melbourne? It sounds pretty important. You know, what you do is you find an article that says something about tourism and you quote it and you source it. So here I want eye level pictures in the district of the building from a distance. And what you can do here is you can begin to use Google Earth or Google Maps, and you can actually generate pictures. We could actually do the whole thing in Google Earth, actually, if I think about it some more, which is kind of interesting. Good. So this is site scale. This is definitely a site scale. I like to have a site plan, but it looks like there's not much. There's a little bit of site. Typically, I like to have a site plan here for the behaviors perspective under performance. Now there you go. So this really goes in your district, right? This is really district stuff. This is center city, and there's actually some analysis here. So this is really goes back to the previous section. So I'm sure there's lots of diagrams here that you could put in here. So you really have to get busy here. I'd like to give you an A, but you don't really have anything going on yet. So I don't know how when I handed this out, but I expect to see more. Cool facade. That would work for experience. Here we go. Here's the systems. All right. So let's see what they're doing. Wow, they're serious about this. They're putting water in here. This is actually a really interesting system, but I can't read that or that. You have to explain it. You have to explain the system here, and then in here you have to tell me whether you think it's good or not, effective. Right? You can't just show me the picture and say I'm done systems, because that's too easy. I guess this is showing culture and people, but it doesn't really, there's no words here that explains this of why this might be cultural. To me it looks experiential. It looks like what I might feel like in that building at any given time. You don't have experience. Now that's the proper, okay, so that's the proper picture. Again, you can reuse pictures over and over multiple times. Like this could be used for experience, this could be used for systems, because you've got a really interesting lighting system here. You've got some plant systems for air quality. You've got experience view looking out through that main facade there. So there's a lot of things you could do here. Now you reuse this. In here you really want to talk about this diagram from an interior's point of view in terms of how does it interact with the interior HVAC system. So again, it's okay to use the same drawing. This one really doesn't have much to do with interiors. I can't see it anyway. So yeah, this, by the way, this is worth 35 points. So you might want to get cracking on this and kind of get started. And I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna end this.